New at 5:30, Hanukkah begins Thursday evening, and for many members of the Jewish community, it's more important now than ever to observe this holiday. This all comes as the ongoing war continues.
Sarah Shackles spoke to a 96-year-old Holocaust survivor who lives in Richmond and has more.
She is joining us.
My whole life is a miracle, honest to God.
Helena Zim was born in Poland in 1927, the youngest of 3 daughters to 2 soap makers. She was almost 12 when World War II broke out in 1939.
Things changed completely.
The family moved out of the city to a small town.
My father said, I want my children to live. This was his aim. And the thing was, he believed that the only way that we can survive as Christians.
A nice woman got papers for Helena and her sister by lying to a priest. Her dad drilled her new identity into her head.
Your name is Wanda Kazusek, and told me many, many times, repeated many times, you're a Christian.
Helena was 14 years old when her family was forced to split up.
We said goodbye to my father and mother, and I had to tell you, this thing that I would never forget. I knew at the time I'll never see my parents again.
She stayed in a couple different homes before landing a job as a housekeeper for a wealthy young newlywed couple.
I was very lucky, honey. She hired me on the spot. We live in Warsaw, right across from the Warsaw ghetto.
All was fine until she was recognized on the street one day.
She stopped and looked at me, and I looked at her. My heart started beating. I knew it's trouble.
Days later, a German Nazi and a Polish corroborator were waiting for her.
The Nazis stuck a gun into my back. The man was like a monster. Get up! Like he's screaming at me. Look, I was just like not even 15 yet.
Her employer saved her, but she would later learn her parents suffered another fate. They died in a concentration camp.
It's a very few people survive. One of the worst. I mean, my husband survived 3 concentration camps.
She eventually immigrated to the U.S. and settled here in Richmond with her husband and went on to have 4 children. She says the images of the Israel-Hamas war scare her.
It really touched me, in a very bad way, because I'm beginning to see about the Holocaust, what I went through. It's happening again. It's a very painful thing.
Helena says being with her family for Hanukkah this year will be extra meaningful.
We're going to celebrate the freedom, being free.
I had to tell you, she was such a remarkable woman, and it was such a pleasure to meet her and share her story. Helena regularly speaks to schools and teaches students not to be bystanders. If they see injustices, they should speak up and do what's right. On your side, Sarah Shackles, NBC 12 News.